Hey folks, I'm Dutch Doll. I'm the host of Dutch Doll Discussions. Today we're going to talk about the voices in my head. Today we're going to talk about how New York City is finding yet another way to fuck over the NYPD and lose the city to the underbelly of crime. Stay tuned to find out, see what the fuck's going on. Yes, it's real. Gentlemen, the New York City Police Department has been lowering the standards to the physical agility test to allow people to become police officers. So you can be a disgusting fat body and don the uniform and shield of a New York City police officer. Fuck the fact that you can't catch a guy in a foot pursuit because you're too fat from eating jelly donuts and the guy gets away, or the fact that you can't help a cop calling for help because you're too fat and slow, or you can't get over a wall, or go up a flight of stairs without having a fucking heart attack. Not after doing 21 years, but being a brand new rookie on the job, young, dumb, full, calm, and ready to go, you too can become a New York City police officer.
Because you are a disgusting fat body, Private Pile!
People, let's get something straight. I was no slender readout on the street, but come on, I wasn't mistaken for a fucking Goodyear blimp either while I was directing traffic. To see a cop that big, what fucking good is he gonna do to help anybody? Maybe help himself to another fucking donut, a free cup of coffee, but that's about it. He just keeps they keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Jesus Christ, I know it's a stressful lifestyle, and we eat what we can on the street. I was eating, fucking half my heart attack was done because of pizza, and it's the only they could eat in the car going from job to job. But come on, folks. Have some professional pride, some fucking standards. So we're going to lower the level. We're going to lower the bar. This is the man's idea. Let's lower the bar to let new blood onto the job who are incapable of doing the job. That's great, Your Honor. How about you set up a retention unit and give senior veteran cops incentives to stay on the job instead of running us all off the job. We're all running for the fucking door. We're not even walking. We're sprinting to the fucking door. We can't get away from you, the police commissioner, and the city of New York fucking fast enough. I mean, seriously. We're going to lower the bar? I'm calling for help and a fat fucking Goodyear blimp is going to come fucking help me? I don't think so. I've been there. I've been helping those cops. I gave it everything I had. These kids, not going to fucking do it. Go back to the old body weight standards, the old time limit for the run. Fuck, I'm 47 years old. I'm doing my police runs to get into the new police departments. Trying to do it a mile and a half in 14 minutes flat, which is harder than you think at 47 after a heart attack. It really is. And I'm doing this fucking show in a room with no air conditioning. I'm sweating my fucking balls off. That's why I'm talking so fast. But we don't need any more disgusting fat bodies on the NYPD. We really don't. Here's a story. One day I got called back to the police academy for some stupid fucking retarded training. And this is after we left for organized crime. We did away with organized crime and we were merged the hostile takeover into the detective bureau. So we're all suit and ties, law and order, SVU, the whole fucking 9 yards. They had the Andy Sipowicz going on, the short sleeve shirts with the fucking tie and whatnot. And I walked by a room and somebody I knew was in a room in a remedial gym class. And they were trying to get over the wall. So I walked up to the instructor. I'm like, hey, let me ask you a question. I went through this fucking 20-some years ago. Is it the same wall we went over? Yeah, same fucking wall. I'm like, we didn't lower it? We didn't make it higher? It's the same fucking wall. I'm like, that wall looks a lot bigger than it did when I went over it in 1998. He's no detective. It's the same wall. I'm like, what are they here for? He's like, remedial wall scaling training. What? Everybody got over the wall. No, they're academy recruits who couldn't get over the wall. You fucking kidding me? Can I give it a shot? He goes, yeah, go right ahead. As I walk up to the wall, I was going to take my jacket off, but I decided to leave it on because I had my gun and my cuffs on. And he goes, detective, if you don't get off of that wall, these kids will fucking abuse you. And then we can't teach them anything because, like, oh, a senior guy couldn't get over the wall. Now, listen, it wasn't that long ago. It was like 6 years ago. Right before the heart attack. These kids taking fucking full-on fucking running starts at the wall. I took 3 steps from the wall in dress shoes. Bing, bang, boom. I pulled myself over the wall, landed on my feet on the other side, straight out my jacket. I was good to go. Even the instructors were clapping as I was walking out, which I thought was kind of funny. And he's like, say something motivational to the class now. I'm like, there's like 10 kids in there, boys and girls. And one of the girls, I knew her growing up. She was a kid of the neighborhood. I actually did her recommendation to get into the academy. And I said to the class, I'm like, you can't get over that wall. You have no right to wear our uniform. You have no right to get a shield. You have no right to answer a radio call. You have no right to come and help me. Because the only person we're going to be fucking helping on the street is you when you get into trouble. So, you can't get over the wall. Just resign right fucking now. I don't want you. I don't fucking need you. Okay, it wasn't motivational, but I got a 6 handshakes from the instructors trying to teach these kids to go over a wall. He's after the training. Will you come back and teach him? I'm like, fuck that. I'm going back to the command. I'm going to get I'm going to get some fucking pizza. Bring it back to the command and put my feet up my desk and watch YouTubes till I leave, till the end of the tour. Because we're only an hour before the end of the tour. We're going to make any headway on my fucking cases. We're going to type any DD5s. No pinks. Fuck that. Nah. Listen. Went over the wall. Prove I can do it to myself. Maybe that was the start of the downfall of my career in the NYPD. A couple days later, I got transferred to college for my 30-day rotation. We got that kid with the gun. It was that foot pursuit. 46-year-old man chasing 44 at the time. Chasing a 19-year-old kid down the fucking center court of the projects. Caught his fucking ass, too. Got the gun. Got the cuffs on. Never fired a shot. And that's when the heart attack began. It's when I couldn't catch my breath. But I got myself under control. Took the collars to the precinct for the arrest. Said, boss, I'm not feeling well. Can I go home? Do a search warrant the next morning, McCarthy. Make sure you're there. Well, I was there. Wasn't feeling 100%. Still kept pushing myself. Did the stack. Did the entry. Second the door was down because there was a certain amount of people in the stack to hit that door. I held on. As my partner used to say, we iron-hand it. We did a little bit of everything. We weren't good at it, but we did everything. And after the search warrant, everything was secure, I said, hey, can I go home? I'm not feeling well. This was day 2. Went home. Went right to bed. Woke up the next morning. Wore a light gray shirt. It was dry. Went to take a piss. Came back to go back to bed. My shirt was full of sweat. I'm having a heart attack. At that point, I realized I was fucking... this was the beginning of the end. Drove myself to the hospital. Got medical aid. Got 2 stents put in. I'm still here 4 years later. Whatever. But, Doc's like, you were having a heart attack on and off for 3 fucking days. How much damage did I do? Your heart was operating at 13% when you walked in here. And you walked in, you drove yourself here. What are you, fucking some sort of lunatic? I said, Doc, not for nothing. I couldn't have a fireman bring me in now, could I? But, for the guys who got 20 years on, Your Honor, Mayor Adams, dickhead, give them some incentive to stay. You're just cutting the legs out from under them. I mean, don't give them more overtime so they have heart attacks. All that knowledge, all that stuff they know how to do, all those easy ways to get around jobs, probable cause, entry into an apartment without a search warrant, how to make things collect DNA without anybody knowing we're collecting DNA. All the old school cop tricks that worked for all those years. You're willing to lose all that and keep it to the academy instructors to teach them how to do it? They never had to know how to do it in the first place. There's one thing in the academy to teach. Those who do and know what to do don't teach. Those who have no clue what they're doing, they teach.
Hey man, you've been eating retard sandwiches again.
Quickly! Get your fat ass over there, Private Pile. Oh, that's right, Private Pile. Don't make any fucking effort to get up to the top of the fucking obstacle. If God wanted you up there, he would have miracled your ass up there by now, wouldn't he? Say it, sir! Get your fat ass up there, Pile! Say it, what the hell is the matter with you anyway? I'll bet you if there was some pussy up there on top of that obstacle, you could get up there, couldn't you? Say it, sir! Your ass looks like about 150 pounds of chewed bubble gum, Pile. You know that? Say it, sir! One for the Commandant. One for the Corps. Get up there. Pull! I guess the Corps don't get theirs. Get up there, Pile. Pull! Pull, Pile, pull! One pull-up, Pile. Come on, pull! You gotta be shitting me, Pile. Get your ass up there. Do you mean to tell me that you cannot do one single pull-up? You...
And that's where we stand right now. That's what the academy classes look like right now. They're just trying to fill these classes to stem the leak of cops leaving. They're leaving 4,000 or 5,000 a week. We're a department that was 43,000 to police a city of 8 million. And cops are just running for the door. I mean, not with anybody's pension as good as mine, because I went out on medical after 21 years. I met my minimum requirement to retire and did an additional year. I did past my time. I earned my retirement and then some. But we're getting substandard cops. What's next? We're going to make the civil service test easier for people? We're going to start hiring stupid cops? We start lowering the standards now. What's the department going to look like in 10 years? Who knows if they'll be in New York City Police Department in 10 years at the rate they're going? You want the best possible candidates to fill these positions, to make smarter decisions, to overpower people who are bigger than them, to effect an arrest with the minimum force amount necessary force used. The minimum amount of force necessary to make the arrest. That's what I meant to say. You don't want a guy or girl getting overpowered and going for the gun right away. The firearm is your last resort. The radio, open hand tactics, closed hand tactics, chemical spray, nightstick. Then, maybe, your handgun. Maybe. And that doesn't mean pulling your handgun and letting one go right away. You may pull your handgun and menace the guy and get him into cuffs. If he thinks you're going to shoot him and you don't have to shoot him and you get him into cuffs, it's a win-win for you, isn't it? You were going to shoot me? No. But you didn't know that. You get home safe. Your partner gets home safe. Nobody wants to ride in a car with a guy or girl who they can't depend on. You're putting other cops' lives at risk. These funerals we've been going to, where they're gunning us down 2 or 3 at a time, they're going to increase. You're putting a cop's safety below everything else. You want us to protect the public, but we can't protect ourselves. You'll lower the standards. What are you going to scrape the bottom of the barrels? You're going to cut back on the background investigation? You're going to have more Michael Dowds? Kenny Urel's on the job? You're going to turn this into the fucking Miami-Dade Police Department where they're taking bribes left and right? Even worse, New Orleans? One of the most corrupt police departments in the world? Listen. I was very fortunate. The guy I rode with, I trained. There was no ifs, ands, or buts when I started my tour that we were going home together. He was going to get me home. I was going to get him home. We were going to get cuts and bruises and scrapes once in a while. Yeah, was I going to get my teeth knocked in and my bell rung? Yeah, and so was he. We knew it. It was a contact sport. We knew that. We knew that when we got in the car together. My grandfather told me a long time ago, never ride in a car with a guy you're not willing to share a cell with. Meaning if things broke bad and you were indemnified from the job for your qualified immunity, both of you could be sharing a cell in a state prison together. So make sure when you pick your partner, you pick the best guy possible. I'd take a bullet for my partner without the vest on any day of the week. I love that guy. That guy was more of a brother to me than my brothers were. But I spent 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day with him, 5 days a week. We hung out off duty together. And I know, listen, he was shorter than I was. So I could reach some things he couldn't. We made up for each other's shortcomings. But to put cops behind the 8 ball automatically by lowering the standards and putting a whole police class out there of substandard cops, it's not going to help the department. It's not going to help the city. It's not going to help you, Your Honor. Not so fucking ever. So why even try to do it? Hire the best candidates who pass the standards we have in place for it. Don't lower the standards. So you're putting a class of 500 through because nobody can pass the... I'd rather have a class of 500 who did the job the right way, who were worth 2 substandard cops, than have you put a class of 1,000 through who are all substandard cops. Because that's the next thing. You're going to lower the mental requirements for the job. What are you going to cut back on the psych next? Give psychopaths guns too? Fuck, I'm the first one to admit that. I'm lucky I passed the psych. I passed the medical. I made through with the academy. You talking about a guy who had a learning disability, went to the police academy, I got through. I was in top of my class. I went in the end of my class. I was somewhere in the middle, comfortably. A gentleman's C. That's what I had. And that's what the C New York got for me. They had a cop who knew the street and knew what he had to do. Even if I couldn't do it, I'd bring friends with me to help me do it. But I'd do it safely. And the guys who worked with me knew they were going to go home. Then you're going to have these cops who... I mean, seriously, I'm not asking for beat kicks. I'm not asking for the FDNY doing calendar shoots. But just the minimum standard we have now. Not lowering it, but the minimum we have now. Don't cheat the city of New York. Don't put your police department behind the 8 ball. Support your local gunfighter. Fuck, Your Honor, you even won for a short time yourself to get yourself drummed out of the goddamn department. And that's a lot of drumming, and you're quite the asshole for getting it done. But it's a civil service job. What the fuck did you have to do to get fired? Or pressure to leave? I know I never came fucking close to it. But, people, this is not the department's fault. The commissioner signed off on it because her and benevolent wisdom is an idiot. But she works for the mayor. Please, support your local gunfighter. Support your local cop. Say thank you when you see him on patrol. Thank you for protecting our community. Thank you for putting your life at risk. There's way too many of us dying now. We are less likely to shoot in shoot situations because we don't want to get indicted. And the shit Chili's covering, I swear to fucking Christ, he's wrong. Cops are not planting guns. It's not back to the fucking 70s. It's not. It's a different department. There is accountability up the ass. Between internal affairs, inspections, the federal monitoring on the department. Come on. People. This is not some fucking thriller movie. At least give us the benefit of the doubt. And that should always be the fact. Always give the cop the benefit of the doubt. If you think it's fugazi, ask a question. But let the benefit of the doubt go to the cop. I'm not saying the cops are absolved of everything. But just give it a chance to be explained. Don't just jump to your conclusion like that fucking idiot Chili DeCastro. Folks, I'm Dutch Doll. That's my time. Thank God it's fucking hot in here. Glad to be with you. These are my discussions. See you on Monday. I'm taking the weekend off. Bye. I want you guys to have an awesome fucking weekend. Later.
Want some whiskey in your water, sugar in your tea? What's all this crazy question they're asking me? This is the craziest party that could ever be. Don't turn on the lights, cause I don't want to see. Mama told me not to come. Mama told me not to come. That ain't the way to find out.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes, or cutaway coat, perfect fits.